this is Michelle, and this is my 8-week blog. Helen has asked us in this blog to talk about the things that we've learned, the bigger things that we've learned about ourselves while we've been on this program. I guess, first and foremost, one of the biggest things that I've learned is that I can do this. And I don't know whether that's a learning or whether it's just a belief and a realization that, hey, I can really do this. This is going to work, and I'm going to achieve this. So that's pretty cool that I've been able to come to that realization. I guess the other thing is about my self-sabotaging. I think I've always known that I'm a self-sabotager, but what I've learned while working with Helen is the why. The why I self-sabotage, and that has done enormous things for me. I met with Helen a couple of weeks ago now, and we talked about my self-sabotaging, and we together came to the realization that what it was about was that when I first had my lap band, my doctor, my husband and I had all agreed that when I got to the 30 kilo loss mark, that we would start trying for another baby. And as much as I want another baby, and believe me, I so want another baby, with all my heart, what that did for me was it made me focus on the numbers, first of all, which is not a great thing and not really very healthy. But the other thing for me is that the closer I got to the 30 kilo loss mark, the more scared I became, and not scared of having another baby, not by any stretch of the imagination. What I became scared of was putting the weight back on, getting pregnant, putting the weight back on, and ending up exactly back where I started, which is the last thing I want. And I'm never going back there, but that really frightened me. So talking with Helen, what she was able to make me realise was that's never going to happen. With my bands, with the techniques I've learned with Helen, with my new self-awareness, I'm never putting that weight back on. That's just not going to be physically possible. And so that's been a huge realisation and just set me forward in leaps and bounds. So that's, probably one of the biggest changes for me. Helen also wanted us to talk about how we're finding the no diet way of living. And again, that's, that's taking some adjustment. That's, I'm still not perfect at it. It's a concept that takes some getting used to. It's a concept that takes, we're talking about 30 years of programming that we're having to undo. So that's a slowly, we're, little baby steps, but we're moving in the right direction. Helen works on an 80-20 principle. I'm sitting at about 65-35 at the moment, which, as I say, not perfect, but so much of such a vast improvement on pre-Helen. So, heading in the right direction. I love the idea of being able to eat without guilt, because it's the guilt that gets you in the end. You'll eat something because you want it, within reason, and then you beat yourself up and feel so guilty about it and think, oh my God, well, I've blown it now, I may as well just go the whole hog and blow it clean out of the water. I don't do that anymore. If I want some chocolate, I have it. And, if it's a little more than I probably should have, who cares? I'm good most of the time, and a little bit of chocolate every now and again is not going to hurt me, and I don't have to justify it, and I don't have to feel guilty about it, and therefore, when I don't feel guilty, I then don't get the feelings, well, I may as well, damage is done, I may as well really do it, which is the concept that would send me back to where we got to, where we were in the past. And as I say, I'm never going back there. In terms of other things about being on the program, still loving it, still really enjoying it, missing everybody crazy, like crazy at the moment. I'm without a computer. I can't get onto the blog, so I'm really missing everybody, really feeling that, the support that we get from the forum is amazing, and having not had it for this past week, I'm really realising how much I miss it.